So I need to line up now my YOLObox Pro with Facebook. So I'm doing a little straight one first to see where I am. Yes, just now. It's in the correct place. Yes, yes. It's in the correct place. So what I'll do, I'll carry on with the theme. I'm going to test a few backgrounds with a green screen, and I'm also testing, I've set the bitrate to 500, I've set it to CBR and constant bitrate. Now I'm going to change the background. So I go into the chroma key settings, press the key and switch. The two slides for adjusting the default settings, so I'm not going to touch them, although we had a few problems with stuttering during the week. But I think the bitrate change has changed all of that. So that's what this test is about now. So I'll do test 1, background change 1. And what you've got to remember, guys, is you press done and it switches, and you press done twice, otherwise you won't be seeing it on the screen. Now we'll see it on Facebook in a second. I haven't put the sound on. I don't want the sounds to clash. And in the meantime, I'll change that background again, because time waits for no man. And I'll go for the second of my backgrounds, which is all South African pictures I took when I was out in South Africa. This was in a park somewhere. The others were taken on a beach about 35 miles outside Cape Town. So I'll do a quick switch now, because as I said, time waits for nobody in South Africa or in the UK. The test is more important. Now it's running at 4,600 kilobytes per second at 29 frames per second. Nothing has changed, nothing has happened. And that clock has just rung 2. It's 2 o'clock in the day here in Swansea, South Wales. We'll change that setting again. And this time and I've discussed this a few times, it's the waterfront setting. Where I'm actually, the picture of me is a cafe there, a dockside cafe. And as you can see, it's a beautiful view of the Tabletop Mountain. It's one of the best views in Cape Town. And of course there's a lot of yachts in there in the bay and one thing and another. And it's a very affluent place. And the ones that gain most from the affluence are the seagulls, who come down and nicked everybody's food. They took my chips and a piece of cod, and they took the wife's bit of cod. And it seems like they've taken everybody's piece of cod. Nobody seems to care here. I'll swap that again, lads. What I want you to do, guys, is you're on the lookout for stuttering. And if you see any stuttering, guys, put it in comments, because before we changed the bitrate, it was stuttering. Now that I've changed the bitrate, it's not stuttering. At least all the short tests I've done are not stuttering. I've done the bitrate at 800, I've done it at 700, 600, and now I'm on 500, maximum 500. So let's hope that this works. In a little test I done earlier, it worked. Another background change. Everything that you see is my stuff. Photograph of my wall, etc. Everything is mine. There's no point in me putting anything else on. If I do put anything else on that belongs to somebody, I will tell you who it belongs to. And the wife gets annoyed about this. She's a minimalist. When we decorated the wall, she didn't want no pictures up. And I said, I'll have to put a few things up. She said, don't put a lot up, darling. I said, I want my love. She's sorry she said that now. Anyway, I'm keeping you in constant conversation because otherwise you get bored. Desert Island twist now. I've got the setting here. I've got all boxes up here with one camera on in front of me. Because the table that I'm in a bedroom, the table's up tight against the wall. I couldn't get a stand for the camera there. And when you see me on the screen, I'm actually looking at my monitor because it's on a slant on the side of the table, not up, not directly behind me. Change again. Another island scene. Yes, tropical island, can't beat it. I don't know about where you are in the world, but you're in Swansea in South Wales in the UK. It's a beautiful day. And I'm up in the dark bedroom doing a short video before I actually go out on the deck chair with the wife. So another 5 or 10 minutes now and this test will be over. I don't want to rush it. I want to find out for definite if I can stream now with this bitrate at 500. And not only that, I'm actually indoors and I'm streaming with the 4G SIM card that's in the YOLOBOX Pro because my Wi-Fi doesn't extend to this room. I bought the house next door, making it into one house, but I didn't realise that when I'm in the bedroom, the bedroom in next door, I am in next door, so my actual Wi-Fi doesn't get there. So I'm using those 4G SIMs and it's very successful. It hasn't left me down yet in a fortnight. I haven't been doing anything. I've only been testing. I'm normally testing about up to 20 minutes. So I haven't had any, well, I've had one drop frame in that time. Now it's constant now at 5,031 frames per second. It's going well. I'm surprised. But there's not a lot of videoing going on. It's just me and the new background. So that could have a lot to do with it. The wife doesn't know what I'm doing up here. She's very suspicious. She hasn't seen the green screen I've got up here now. One of these foldable ones, Elgato, that slides up and down. They're very handy, but they take a lot of room up. So I can't get it to work downstairs. I haven't got no room with all the furniture that's there. And I don't want to fetch the computer up here because that's too heavy with all the gear that goes with it. So I'm here with the YOLOBOX on its own. Now then, we'll do a swap again. I think we'll do a dark bookcase this time, just to see what the dark settings are like. No, it is depressingly dark, so I've got too many to get excited about, to be honest with you. I've got backgrounds coming out of my arse, and they're quite painful coming out of there. Sometimes the touchscreen on this particular part of the YOLOBOX Pro doesn't seem to work. I've got to tap it half a dozen times. Swansea Castle coming up. That'll be the next one on your screen. It's got quite a big history, Swansea Castle, and I haven't got it in front of me at the moment, so I don't want to go start this rubbish out. So we'll talk about that another time. we go down to the bottom, the older backgrounds now, which this is a favourite of mine, the Swansea Slip Bridge. This view, you can't class it with Blackpool Tower, but this is about as near to Blackpool Tower as we got the Swansea Slip Bridge. When I was a boy, which is a long time ago, the slip was where everybody went. That beach would be crowded, there wouldn't be an inch of space there with the slip bridge, and they'd go up the parapet the other side of the road, they cross the bridge and come down on the beach. And them arches underneath the bridge, under the parapets, there was 3 arches each side, would be cafes, shops selling stuff. And there were shows and donkeys on the beach, and there were thousands of people there. Swansea Council, in their wisdom, after finding it needed some repairs, after tendering it out for prices, said it was too expensive and pulled it down. They've left the 2 parapets up with all the scaffolding that goes with it. It's in a right mess. So please, Swansea Council, put that bridge back. Let's get some people on the bridge. There's nobody on the beach these days. You see people float. They were worried with this COVID about all the people that are congregating on the beaches. This is one of the best beaches in the world, and there's nobody on it. You get the odd bod walking his dog. There's nowhere to go. You can't get a cup of tea. There's no toilets. There used to be toilets across the road from this. There was a baths there. Oh my God. It was beautiful. There was a park the other side as well, Victoria Park. Now, they've taken the toilets away. They've taken everything away. They've taken the bridge away. Swansea Council, come on. You've got the best stretch of sand on the planet. Get it to pay. That's my gripe gone again for today. This is a British tanker company oil tanker. The British Resource. That's the name of it, British Resource. I have told the story before. I joined it in 1953 as a cabin boy. And I will tell the rest to anybody that wants to know. I could write a book about it. I think I've done enough for this test now, lads. So I'm going to do my personal bookcase. As you can see, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier books there. There's a photo of me and a photo of the wife. Odds and sods in the bookcase. It's my favourite bookcase. I've got loads of bookcases there. Right. That's a test on the bitrate now, lads. I'm sure we need more video to test it correctly, but that's a test of the bitrate at 5,000, and it's approximately 29 frames per second. It's set at 1080, but we know when it gets to Facebook it's going to be 720. So I've sent it to YouTube as well, so I can make a copy. Right? When the bitrate was as it was, variable rate with depending on your YOLO box, there was a stutter. When you changed the backgrounds on the green screen, there was a definite stutter. Others noticed it as well as myself, and I tried for a week to get rid of it, and I couldn't get rid of it. I changed all the slide, I changed the 2 slides on the green screen method, put them everywhere, but I still couldn't get rid of the stutter. But it's only since I got up the bitrate, the constant, that it's staying as it is. No stutter. And I say that without having watched the video on Facebook yet. So please, bear with me. I'm going to close now. Arrivederci. Buonasera, Signorita, buonasera. Excuse me. Okay, Scouts. From Scotty Road. See you guys.